So I've been trying to get my recording done earlier in the day and then do other things afterward, but it hasn't just been going like that every single day. Had a client and all type of stuff before the session today, but you know what? We still gonna get it in. And the client's situation actually helped give me some content. Like, she was going through a situation where it's like her shoulder was hurting, so she called me for a body rub. She just wanted to nip it in the bud. But what was going on after the session is that she still didn't just seem relaxed. And she's a regular of mine, so I see how her face looks when she's relaxed versus when she's still a bit tense or whatever. And so I asked her, was there anything else going on? Because the session was pretty much over and she just was still looking like blah, kind of. So then she started talking and she was like, yeah, pretty much, without getting into too many details, there was somebody who came at her in a way that she didn't appreciate through text. And it's like throughout our whole session, that's the only thing that was on her mind. I wish she had told me that before so that we could have did some of the breathing before so that she would have been able to thoroughly enjoy the session. But everything happens for a reason. So she was just telling me that the person who was talking to her crazy, they're in a position to make her life suck at the moment. And she doesn't want to give them the reason to, but they're giving her every reason to talk crazy. And I just was letting her know that, you know, this is taken away from the session that you just bought. Like, I can just see it in your face. You didn't experience what you could have just experienced. So I let her know that we can do some breath work on top of the session. So I just set the timer for 5 minutes, and then we did some 5-second inhales and 5-second exhales. I made sure that she didn't deviate from the process. About 3 to 4 minutes in, she started smiling. And it was cool to see. I'm like, okay, there's something going on there. And then as we continued going with it for the other minute and a half or whatever, she opened her eyes up and she was like, wow. And I'm like, wow, what? She's just like, that was kind of crazy. But she just kept smiling. So I didn't continue prying and asking, like, okay, what happened? What happened? Like, it was evident that she was feeling better in the moment. And then the way that she started talking about the text that she had to respond to, she wasn't seeming like such a victim anymore. She was just responding about it in a way like, okay, I was thinking about responding like this, but I don't really think that's the move, so I probably should do it like this. Or maybe, like, she was just coming up with ideas instead of just feeling like she couldn't say anything because if she comes at this person the wrong way, like I said, they're in a position to really make her life suck. So she just was so hesitant and resistant towards even responding that it was causing her to not even be able to enjoy the session that she just had. And also, real quick, we'll get right back to the video, but could you like, comment, and subscribe to my content? That'll help YouTube to see that this is something that people actually like seeing and help them push it out to more people like me, like you, who can actually use this information to better their lives. Alright, let's get back to the video. So a couple minutes after we do the breathing routine, right before I'm about to pack up and get ready to go, she just out of nowhere says, wow, I didn't even realize my shoulder isn't hurting. This whole time we've been talking about this text message and all this other stuff. The whole reason I called you isn't even an issue anymore. I'm like, yeah. I was wondering why you hadn't commented on it. When you're dysregulated, when something just has your focus and is making you seem like a victim in the moment, your fight or flight senses are kicked on and you're not able to relax. So literally the whole session that we had just now, getting your body to relax, it wasn't able to actually land until you told yourself that it was safe to relax within. And that's why afterward she was like, wait a minute, my shoulder isn't even hurting. Yeah, you hadn't even processed that those knots had already got worked out because your mind was too on this text message, too jumbled up in that to be able to actually see that you're feeling better right now. She was feeling better on the surface, but deep within her, she was still just jumbled dealing with this situation. But after a couple of conscious breaths, she was able to come up with different solutions, come up with different things that she could possibly tell this person. Ideas that literally weren't coming to mind before we started doing the breathing exercises. I saw how she was at a loss for words and at a loss for what to do. And I saw her gain some sort of momentum in the right direction. simply by breathing in 5-second inhales, 5-second exhales for 5 minutes. It seems like something that you might be interested in doing. Go try it out. Don't wait too much. Don't put it off for too long. Go try it and see how it affects you. I'm Brad, and this is LGTM Healing, where we get your mind right so you can go and get your money right. I'll see you next time.